Sifting through boxes of papers and photos, I found a neat bundle of typed pages. The pages were discolored, showing their age. The front read, "Coping, a story for an Indian family about that Indian family." This was the beginning of my grandmother's autobiography. Within the lines, she recalled childhood memories growing up as one child of 10, all of them together in one small house in Petoskey. With such a large family and so poor after the Great Depression, food had to be cheap and plentiful. Her mother would make dishes like oatmeal soup, just oats and salt pork broth. It didn't taste good, but it filled their stomachs. In between the lines, I found many of the answers to why diabetes runs throughout our family and why I have struggled with my own chronic illness, loss of culture, poverty, trauma after trauma. So many Native families have these stories, making the best of the commodity foods they were given. Government-issued commodity foods are high in processed carbs, sugar, salt, and fat. After enough time, many families began associating these unhealthy foods with home and family traditions. This was the beginning of diet-related illnesses, and our bodies tell these histories, and the devastating rates of diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and loss of life that are all too common in our communities. Food is something that connects us to all people, and most of all, it connects us to our families. It is how many express generosity, love, and celebrate culture. However, we also need it to nourish and be medicine to our bodies. Often we find ourselves going back to the comfort foods that remind us of home and family. But I have come to learn that there is an important difference between cultural foods and traditional food. Cultural foods are those dishes that have a place in our history. They became staples out of necessity, and they speak to people's struggle to survive. But traditional foods are the foods of our ancestors. They're nutrient-dense foods that have a long history of promoting good health. Changing my diet has been one of the most challenging lifestyle changes I have made, especially in a time when unhealthy junk food is so cheap and convenient. But making healthy food choices is one of the most rewarding gifts I can give myself, providing me with more energy, improving my health, and overall quality of life. My ancestors knew this, that eating good foods can give our families, communities, and ourselves a good life. I have the power to break the cycle of chronic illness and replace it with a legacy of wellness. It begins with me. It was a tremendous treasure to find my grandmother's writing, to bear witness to our family's strength and beauty of spirit that allowed them to survive, and to do it with smiles and laughter. I can see that their hopes and dreams have come down to me, to not just survive, but thrive.